Hey guys, welcome back to another DaVinci Resolve tutorial. In today's lesson, we are going to be talking about the Vectorscope. So the Vectorscope is one of the most critical tools that you'll use in your color grading for look development, matching colors, and dialing in that look that you really want for your image. So straight up, let's get in. We'll grab this 4 color gradients here. You can see if we go into effects and generators, we have our 4 color gradient. So I'll just pull that down onto the timeline. And then what I'll do is I'll just right click, compound clip, and create a new compound clip. So Shift 6 to bring up our color page. And basically what you'll see here is we've got one clip on our timeline, the compound clip of the 4 color gradient. You can see from top left, we've got red, pushing through to orange, yellow, down to green, cyan, over to blue, and then up into purple and magenta. Then on the outside of this 4 color gradient, we have more saturation. And then as we push to the center of the 4 color gradient, we get less and less saturation. So that's what we're looking at here. Now, let me just pull this up. You can see on the right side, we've got our Vectorscope, and then on the left side, we've got the 4 color gradient. Now, the 4 color gradient is mapping to the Vectorscope. And you can see it's mapping in a way that's representing all the color hues, all the saturation levels that we've got here in our gradient. So what I'll do next is I'll just go down here to the dropper and I'll turn on the qualifier. So you can see now I can move around this color gradient. And as I move around, if you keep an eye on the Vectorscope, you'll see that the circle is matching up to where I put the dropper on the color gradient. So if I go to reds here, you can see it's pushing up to the red. If I go to the blues, going to the blues. So you can just see how this is pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory, how this image is getting mapped to the Vectorscope on the right side. So what is happening in the Vectorscope here? So you've got a 360 degrees circle. You've got boxes that are for red, boxes that are for magenta, blue, cyan, green, and yellow. So what are these boxes? So these boxes are saturation targets. So the first box is a 75% target saturation for red. Then if I go up here, this is 100% saturation target for red. If I just click these 3 buttons, and you can see that I go to Vectorscope, I can turn on 75% targets, and then it just removes that 100% target. Then I can turn on 100% targets, and you see that pushes out. And then I can turn on both the 100% and the 75% targets. Now, why do we need these targets? These are saturation targets for broadcast. So if I look here, 75% target saturation is the broadcast safe for TV and standard TV display. Digital, we can actually push it further and go up to these 100% targets. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you do see your Vectorscope pushing out past these 100% limits, it could be a case that it won't display correctly on screens, online, or TV. If we are looking at saturation, we can see, just based on what I've told you there, the further we push out to the edge of the circle, the more saturation we're getting from our image. So if I go up to the top here to the red, you can see these reds on the top left are very saturated. And if I look at my Vectorscope, the circle, it's actually circling around that 100% target. If we start to look at more desaturated colors, so let me just pull down, you can see if I put my qualifier just slowly down to this less saturated red, you can see as I pull it down towards the center where there's less saturation, you can see what's happening on the Vectorscope. It's actually going towards the center. And that's basically telling us anything that's showing in and around the center of our Vectorscope is a desaturated hue. Anything towards the edge of the circle is a more saturated hue. So at the moment we're looking at reds, but that's going to go for blues. You can see the same thing happening. That's going to go for yellows, same thing happening. Greens, same thing happening. And then cyans here. same thing happening. So desaturated colors will be reflected in the center of our Vectorscope, and more saturated colors are going to be reflected on the outside of our Vectorscope. Now, what's happening if we look at it from a 360 degrees? Well, as we go around this circle, we're looking at different hues. So if I look at the red here, you can see it's sitting up at the top. Then as I go around this gradient, you can see I'm going to orange and the yellow. You can see how it's moving around the Vectorscope and mapping. So as I go around this color gradient, you can see what's happening on the Vectorscope. So that's telling us that from basically 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, around this 360 degree circle, that's where all our hues are going to live. So every single hue that's available that we can see will be reflected around this circle. That is the basic gist of the Vectorscope. You're looking at two main things. You're looking at your hue and you're looking at your saturation. That's what the Vectorscope's telling us. The Vectorscope isn't telling us about luminance values or brightness. It's telling us about saturation and hue. We've got our other scopes for luminance, which is our waveform, and we've got our RGB for our channel breakdown between red, green, and blue. So now let's take an actual real example. So the theory is just for you to understand what's actually happening with our hue, with our saturation. Now, if I bring in a real image from the real world, we can now have a look at that image and then have a look at our Vectorscope. So now let's have a look. Let's put our dropper on here and we'll go to these oranges of the dog's beard. So you can see as I hover over these oranges, what's happening on the Vectorscope. The circle is appearing on those orange hues that you can see on the Vectorscope here. So it's telling us that these hues, this level of saturation is what's happening on the dog's face. So not too saturated. It's, it's somewhere between 0 and 75 here. So what's that? That's about, say, 30% saturation. So it's quite desaturated. And the hue is pushing up in between the red channel and the yellow channel here. So we've got that orange, which is sitting sort of in between the red and the yellow hue. So that's what we expect to see. Now, if we go behind here, you can see those yellows sort of in behind the dog's nose there. So you can see that they're being represented by this little push to yellow here, which almost looks like gold. So if I hover over that, you can see the circle is displaying over those yellows. And then if I go to the cyan, so you can see we've got a bit of cyan pushing here on the vector. So where's that coming from? That's actually coming from the back of the dog here. You can see those cyans, very subtle desaturated cyans that are pushing here on the Vectorscope. If we look at the image from an overall perspective, you can see we've got quite muted tones, desaturation, nothing's really popping in terms of the color. It's all quite muted, soft tones. And when we look at our Vectorscope, that's what we're getting displayed here on the vector. It's muted, it's desaturated, no massive pushes out to certain colors, just a nice balanced neutral image. So that's what we're seeing here. Okay, so now let's compare that to our next example, something with a bit more saturation. So if I look at my image here, you can see we've got these autumn colors. We've got these greens, we've got the reds, yellows, the reds in the trees, blue in the mountains here. And it's a lot more saturated, right, compared to the previous image. So if we look at our Vectorscope, first thing we can notice is our vectors, our hue, is pushing further out on that circle. So before we were pushing out to about the 30% levels. If I take these yellows here, you can see these yellows are pushing out towards that 75% target just beside the yellow box here. So that's telling us that these yellows in these trees are at the 75% saturation levels. So much more saturation than the previous image that we had. And again, if I look at the image, we've got like this little spike out the red here. So where's that coming from? That's coming from these trees over here. You can see these little red bushes. We've got that sort of 50%, 30% saturation on these reds. And then if I look at the Vectorscope here, we've got a push down to cyan. That's coming from these dresses of these ladies in the trees. So you can see that these cyans are pushing out towards that cyan hue, but it's not overly saturated. It's actually about 30-40% saturation. So let's just go back. So a desaturated image will look like that, and that's what we expect to see showing on the Vectorscope. Desaturation, muted tones. This is a more saturated image, pushing out further on that circle. More saturation, more intensity, and more color. So that is the Vectorscope. And I just wanted to show you those three examples because, you know, first of all, you want to start with the theory so you can kind of get an idea of how colors map to the vector. And then I want to show you saturation levels and intensity levels of those colors. So in a nutshell, Vectorscope is giving you your hue and your saturation and your saturation levels of those hues around the image. Something that it'll take a while to get your head around. So the Vectorscope for me was probably the last thing that really clicked, and it does seem a bit abstract when you first look at it. But once you get the hang of it, once you start testing images, start pulling shots into your timeline, pulling up the color charts and playing around, you'll really start to get a grasp of what the Vectorscope is showing you. And it is a really useful tool. It is something that you'll want to get your head around, because when you start with your look development, you know, say for example, you've got a blue and you want to push it to cyan, or you've got an orange and you want to push it to red, you'll be able to do that with the tools in DaVinci, but you'll also be able to see it and how it's moving and reflected on your Vectorscope, which is really, really important to get consistent looking color grades every single time. So once you do get the hang of the Vectorscope, you'll really start to be able to dial in your looks, manipulate your footage, and get it to look exactly how you want, shot to shot across your whole timeline. And you'll really start to see the power of the Vectorscope. So I hope that was useful. And yes, as you go on with this course, please just reach out, ask questions. And if you do get stuck or something's not quite making sense, please feel free to send me a message. I'm always happy to help. And you know, you will get it. It did take me a while, and you know, once you do get it, you'll be color grading like a professional. So, all right, so that's it. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to download. I've got some free downloads in the description. I've got the full color grading course in the description as well. It's a mini master course. So go ahead, take a look at that, and yeah, hopefully see you in the next lesson.